Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of the Prosperity Post, where we talk about positive stories, smart thinking, and practical solutions. And to do that, we have the incredible Nikki Larkin. How are you doing today?
I am feeling great. Good afternoon, Kirsty.
Is that you're feeling great because this month you've had a bit of a rough one, Nikki?
Yeah, the last month has been a bit rough, yes. But today I am feeling great. I think you're probably referring to the fact that I fractured my elbow a few weeks ago, which was rather painful,
Oh,
yes. But luckily it's almost 100% recovered now. So
that's
it's
what
all
we're
feeling good.
that's what we like. Yeah, no more accidents, please, Nikki. If you don't
No,
mind, it
indeed.
makes life a lot easier. So, as we mentioned, we're here to talk about positive things. We're here to bring positive things, not only in general, but also that can affect UK businesses. So, to do that, we're going to start with a UK news story. And this is for a mammoth of the UK organisations, which is Rolls Royce. Do you want to share a little bit about what we're going to talk about?
Yeah, absolutely, Kirsty. So, yeah, I mean, this is a bit of a silly season for news stories, but we've actually been able to find several really good things that we're going to be sharing with you today. So do stay right to the end. We've got some really good stuff right up to the very end of it today. So Rolls-Royce. So when you think about Rolls-Royce, probably you think about the silver lady on the front of the lovely shiny cars.
Mm-hmm.
However, Rolls-Royce is so much more than just that. What they also do, they're a huge manufacturing firm, UK based, UK owned, and they've been having a great time. So, what some of the other things that they do is they provide a lot of the parts and main parts of UK submarines.
Mm-hmm.
Our new prime minister, in case you don't know who that we've got one,
We'll be getting
uh,
to him later.
he
We'll be getting to
was
him later.
he was in Barrow Furnace. I think it was only last week, where a lot of the UK submarines are built, and yeah, so Rolls-Royce not only does provide many of the parts for UK submarines, but also they produce these small reactors as well, and they have been in massive demand globally. So they've got huge demand in Europe, but also across in America as well. So they have been doing phenomenally well, and they hit, actually, as of today, they hit a 52-week high. So they're doing absolutely brilliantly, really, really strong financial results. They are producing loads, and that what is good about this is it creates sorts of job security within the Rolls-Royce itself, but also there are hundreds, if not thousands, of other UK businesses that filter into Rolls-Royce as well. I mean, I remember I worked at an IT company and Rolls-Royce was one of our major clients. You know, it touches so many different parts of the UK business structure. So it's all good news from that perspective. And that's UK manufacturing.
Yeah, UK spec. Well,
Oh, great
if you
stuff.
want something in a machine, I imagine you want the best quality. And when you think quality, you do tend to think Rolls
Oh,
Royce. So that's very good. So as a
absolutely.
as a UK base, it's nice to know that it is possible. I mean, Rolls Royce is a fairly large company, I'll give you that. But it is nice to know that, like you say, they filter it out across the rest of the country and you are still able to get those international contracts, which is a big deal. Now, sticking on the manufacturing front, Nikki, there has been on the world news stage, I believe there has been something coming from Japan all around electric cars.
Yes, we are going to have a bit of a theme with energy today.
Mhm.
So lots of people are very interested in electric cars. They think they're absolutely fabulous, but there has been a huge concern regarding life of batteries and what they do with them afterwards, etc. Now, a Japanese firm has produced some really exciting technology and really revolutionizing the electric car market because they are now able to recover 90% of lithium from used batteries, which is absolutely fabulous because, you know, that has been there's obviously limited resources of lithium. People are hugely worried about, were they going to be, was there any recycling there? It's all very well that it's green, but actually do you end up with some awful things at the end? But this is really great news that this Japanese company has come up with this. So great innovation. So we've got manufacturing, we've got innovation today. It's all very exciting.
I think this is the key thing, though, is often when we talk about renewables, there is sometimes, and I mean, I've fallen victim to it. There's like sort of a derision to it. You find the one negative, which is that, like you say, these batteries are hard to recycle, and so the whole thing is written off. But there's constant innovation coming from around the world. This will come over to the UK, so I mean, this could have bigger effects on other kind of batteries and the car market in the UK.
Sorry, you just froze there.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
So obviously, the grid's getting a bit busy this time.
Well, that does sort of lead me to the next thing, because in a moment, as we spoke about, we are going to be talking about a new prime minister. He is coming up. Don't worry, we're not leaving that on the table. But we are going to be talking about our next positive story. Oh, Nikki's frozen now. I don't know if that's me or Nikki.
Oh, right. Sorry. Did you just ask me a question? Because you just
no. I'm saying one of us is frozen. The internet is not helping me today. I can't remember if it's me or you. It's just about to introduce the sort of positive story that we've had sticking on that energy front, which is, it's been very sunny here, Nikki. I don't know if you've been aware. It's been very, very sunny in the UK of late, is it?
It's got a little bit of a glow. Yes, indeed. It has been. Obviously, there is huge worry about the amount of record temperatures, etc., and climate change. However, a positive spin on it. It is great for the UK solar energy production. So we've got some latest stats on solar energy. So I mean, I was going to say make you guess. Actually, you've already seen the numbers.
Yeah,
but those who are watching live, any guesses to how much solar energy is contributing to the UK electricity at the moment?
Oh yeah, do let us know.
See if you've got any guesses. Anyway, let me put you out for your guesses, your misery.
Yeah. Well, before we do that, Nikki, whilst people are putting guesses in, I have had this quote regarding the battery recycling. Rob has said that this company, Redwood Materials, generated one of the biggest ever funding rounds when they set up ex-Tesla, and it's set up doing battery recycling on a very large scale. So it does seem
fabulous.
He's not the only one. So fantastic. Right, Nikki, put us out of our misery. What is that number?
So recent energy trends, 40% coming out from solar, which is the highest share on record, which is absolutely amazing, with wind contributing 7.7% and gas at 9%. So there was a huge surge in solar output in the last few weeks, which is absolutely great. I mean, I do keep seeing, and you never know, this 1.5 million houses, maybe, we may be getting there, because when I've been driving around recently, I keep seeing lots and lots of new big sites of new houses being built, and almost all of them have solar panels being put on the top of them as well, which is absolutely brilliant. So we really like that. And actually, I know that Rob, who was just shared that other story, I know that he's very keen on seeing solar panels on office buildings, on manufacturing buildings, rather than on fields, which we need for our agriculture. So I know he's got a bit of a pet thing about that. But yeah, solar panels doing really, really well. So that was absolutely brilliant to see.
Yeah, and I think, like you say, moving forward, if we get these kind of summers more and more, which we have been, then it might be worth in the future for organisations who own their own properties, whether that is, like you say, factories, or whether it's office buildings, it might be worth perhaps looking into solar to help offset various other things, I imagine.
The other winner from this summer has been the AC, the air conditioning manufacturers and installers. There has been unprecedented demand. There's, I've been in touch with quite a few of them, that because there's been quite a lot of consolidation and ongoing consolidation in that sector. And I think that will continue to do so, because that was actually another one of the Andy Burnham things. Was it an Andy Burnham? But anyway, it's definitely is that they're talking about all new residential houses in the UK. I can't remember what year it's from because I think it's still just up for discussion, to have AC built in them from the start. So if you think if all new houses are going to have them, there's going to be an awful AC. Sorry, did you just get that, Kirsty? Okay,
I
good.
did. I did.
Did a bit of a flash again. Yes. So yes, if you're looking for AC, probably best to try and get it input when you don't need it in the winter, because you'll probably get a better deal from the manufacturers and the installers, because they are rather busy and can dictate their price currently.
I have to admit, I did buy a portable air conditioning unit, and I bought it in March because by the beginning of April they were all sold out. So I got in there very quickly. But we have had some other comments. So Rob has said that we currently are getting 34.7% from solar at this very moment, and you can go to gridcarbon.info in order to find out what it is right now, which I think is very interesting. And Tim has said he understands from a builder friend that new build houses now have to incorporate solar panels. It's all part of that thing. So fantastic news there. Okay, Mickey, I think we've beaten around the bush enough. We have had a new Prime Minister. Can you tell me, has he hit the ground running, or is he sort of getting the lay of the land before he starts making decisions? We're having real problems with our connection today. So sorry about that.
Yes. Okay. So yes, he has put out quite a few different things so far. A lot of them quite small ticket things so far, but he's definitely a few of the one of the really good things which we really want to spend some significant time on today, because this can make a big difference, is the move to encourage government procurement to buy British where possible. So that is a huge move with us, because at the moment, often the government departments, when they're making decisions, they have a different matrix of how they decide, but still a lot of it is obviously on price, and obviously we want to make sure our taxpayers' money is being spent sensibly. But if it means that they also can ensure British jobs, etc., hopefully, surely that could be a good thing. So what I wanted to just spend a little bit of time on was talking about trying to get onto government or local government procurement lists, and how to apply for these things, because it is quite frightening and a bit scary for a lot of businesses if they haven't done it before, because it is very regimented, the process. There's often very specific windows that you have to get in to apply for things, to get on lists, to get on the preferred lists, etc. So there's a few useful things that I wanted to share with you. First is the actual government procurement website. There's quite a lot of information on there, and also that's where you can look and start searching for various different things, different contracts that are coming up. So that is the first one. I know Kirsty will be sharing that shortly. So that's the first thing to have a look at. The second thing is there is a huge amount of support out there for trying to help you get onto these things. So if you've got contact into what was your local enterprise partnership, so your local skills hub, you will find that there's experts in there specifically for government and local government contracts, that will be more than happy to help you. So that is a good port of call, because that's a free resource, because they are commissioned to help the local area and help local businesses. That's a very good way to do it, because what you find, and the statistics do a government contract, you are more likely to be successful on your next one as well. Whether it's because you've become more confident or you're just more used to the process or whatever else it might be, but once you're in, there's a lot of stuff to get on there. But trying to get in at the beginning, as I say, can be hard. So you really do need to use whatever support you can. So definitely your local skills hubs as a start. Also, do contact your local chambers of commerce or your local FSB. Both of them will also have do have experts in-house to help their members with these processes, and often they do run a lot of specific seminars on this. So before everybody starts going on there, because they know that it's a good way to get onto contracts, do start looking at now, because I'm sure if you look at YouTube and things, you'll find some older ones, seminars there available. But do go and speak to your local chamber or local FSB and get on there. The other thing, though, to be when you're trying to get onto these pathways to get into government, whether it's local government or central government, for the procurement processes, the process is quite long. So if you are fully only gambling on that this is going to be your big win or whatever, you've got to be mindful that you don't know how likely you are going to be whether to win it, and the process is quite long. So
when you say long, Nikki, do you mean days, weeks, months, years?
We're certainly talking months. Sometimes it can be into the years, depending on what type of thing it is.
Okay, so you shouldn't be relying on a quick win for this. It's a long kind of planning.
This isn't a quick get rich, I'm going to become a billion unicorn, a unicorn company within 6 months type thing. However, if you get the right way, we've got quite a few companies that we look after that do have contracts with the Ministry of Defence or the Ministry or HMRC and various other different things. It's hard to get on them, but once they are on them, they are really lucrative contracts. Obviously they're fair and they're producing brilliant service, my clients are, obviously, but they are really good, and you don't have to, fingers crossed, worry about not being paid or not either. So they should be good payers. So there's lots of things. So just go into these things with your eyes wide open. Get as much advice and help from different sources as you can, is my recommendation. But do consider it in your client mix, because, let's face it, nearly half of our GBTP does go through government or local government. So, it's a huge area to, if you're completely shutting it off, it's a huge part of the market that you're ignoring.
Okay, Nikki, I do have a couple of questions, if I may.
Of course.
I've got. So number one is, other than the fact that it's quite complicated and quite time consuming, are there any negatives to kind of getting a government contract? Is there anything, are there strict rules about what you can do as an organisation if you have a contract, for example?
Yes, there are. So they are super. It's almost like going through a whole financial due diligence process when you're applying to certain of these. So you do need to be really scrupulous with, for example, all your records on Companies House. Make sure that you do have all your spellings correct. They're matching your passports, making sure that all the filings are up to date. Because you don't want to find that you've missed out on a contract because when they've checked, you're 2 days late on filing your confirmation statement, right, or that your accounts your draft accounts that you produced are different to what's actually been filed on Companies House. So you do be very, very careful. You've got to take it very seriously, and you obviously need to be fully compliant with all these things, which is, in some ways, it's similar to if you were applying to in procurement for any other extremely large corporate, because they will make you go through a lot of hurdles too. You know, you need to make sure that you do have all your policies in place, you know, your anti-slavery, your privacy policies, your data policies, all of those things, all those good things. You do have to make sure you can't just go as a wing and prayer and just be this, you know, brand new business. That you've got to have all the proper structure and proper procedures, processes, etc. in place. But you know, it's a good it's a good test for your organization to see how you get along. And if you have got the time and resource to spend on going into this, you can earn a lot of going through the process even if you don't win. But it's usually it's good. But don't go bother trying to. What I would say is, don't try and get onto a procurement list or a preferred suppliers list by putting in ridiculously underpriced numbers, because you're going to have to live by that, and you don't want to be the next. Oh, it's gone blank for me. Anyway, what you know, you don't want to be the next one that goes bust because you are trying to do things for extremely slim margins, which you're just not going to be able to live on.
Especially if energy prices go up or something like that that's outside of our controls, or a strait of something closes and we have no control over it, or something like that.
Absolutely. Do make sure that you put those sorts of things into your contract. So like I know that I've seen a lot of businesses that have, say, provided care contracts for local councils and things, and where they've had like annual price rises in them, that's all works fine because they know that they're going up and up and up and it's fine. But for example, I know like last year when it was the employers' national insurance increase, it meant that some providers would have ended up in a loss position if they'd carried on honouring the contract and had to actually withdraw themselves from local councils because they were just not, they would be in a position that they would be making a loss. So do try and make sure that you caveat everything, and you know, it's as always, you know, revenue's vanity, profit is sanity, and all lots of other things in between. So do make sure that you're actually going to make profit out of it. It's no good. There's no good winning some £10 million contract and you're making 100 grand out of it. Is pointless. So just, you'll be busy fools.
The next question I've got is sort of linked. If I was in the position where I was thinking about potentially selling my business and do something like that, would a government contract help me in that instance? Like if I had one in my books, if I had one in my client kind of estate, is that a helpful thing? Is it a hindrance, or is it sort of neutral?
It's actually, it really depends on where you are abouts in the contract. Because often they're for a specific period of time. So I've dealt with some various companies that have had government contracts and we're looking at selling. Now, if you're right at the end and it's the majority of your revenue, it means your business is probably not going to be worth very much, because as soon as that contract goes, it just dies. You know, I've had a similar thing recently with one of our clients. They, you know, great product, great service, but they were very dependent on one of the top 4 banks for their contract. That contract ended, it didn't get renewed, they hadn't managed to find another one, so that's the end of that company basically. So you've got to make sure that and so that is a good question, because what you want to be doing is, if you are looking to exit and you've got government contracts, try and make sure that you do your exit at the beginning of the contract when it's actually worth something. Because then it's still got good possibility, good future things in there. So that, you know, and that's the same with, to be honest, with any type of business that is reliant upon predominantly 1 or 2 big contracts. You need to get the timing, be very careful with the timing for your exit.
Perfect. Okay, now we are sort of coming towards the end of the show now, but I did want to put it back to sort of our new Prime Minister, Andy Burnham. Obviously, coming up will be the budget. Do you think in the next sort of 2 months ish or 6 weeks, do you think there'll be big changes for businesses, or is there going to be October's when things are going to change? He's going to lay it relatively, close to the line until then.
Okay, I think there will be some changes. I don't know how big the changes will be. It's John Healy, hopefully a safe pair of hands because he has been in the Treasury before. So at least he does know the inner workings and it won't be completely, hopefully too horrible. And the markets do seem to like the thought of him being there. I know that all the big lobby organisations will be trying to get as many meetings as possible with them at the moment, whether it's the Chamber and the FSB and the CBI, etc., trying to lobby for certain things. It's too early to know what's going to be changing, but they do need to pay for things, so there is likely to be some tax changes. However, what I have read recently and heard recently is that Mr. Healy is trying to change the rules slightly on what can be funded by finance. So some more of the capital projects and various other things. So if he's able to do some more of the big ticket things via through the markets and via funding and different things, via borrowing, rather than putting up the taxes. Hopefully, as long as the interest rates don't go too crazy, hopefully that could be a good thing, as long as that does then generate GDP to go up, and then the tax bills do increase and they get more tax taken, they can pay it all back quickly. So I know that he is looking at that. So I think that's a good sign. So it's not just going to be, hopefully it's not going to be all back to the 70s. I know there has been a bit of antiquated signs on some things, on the not doing interviews via Teams and Zoom, and I'm like, what, are you in the 90s? We've been doing things like that for donkey's years now. But we'll see. I think the good sign is that they are listening. So this is the time to, if there's certain things that the country need and the business community need, this is the time to start lobbying. Lobby your MP, lobby the FSB, Chamber, CBI, etc. And you never know. Hopefully, we have some green shoots and some excitement for 2027.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Now, as we mentioned, next episode will be at the end of September, so we'll be closer to that budget and we will have some more predictions. Nikki's going to keep her ear nice and close to the ground and let us know what she is thinking. But we are coming towards the end of the show now, Nikki. So, do you want to share anything about Gorringe before?
Yeah, I just did want to share a few things because we've got quite a lot of events coming up. So I did want to mention, now we normally do put most of our events on our website, gorringeaccountants.co.uk/events, and therefore Gorringe Accountants and Gorringe Brokers clients. And also guests are welcome to, prospective clients. So the things that we've got coming up, next Wednesday we have our quarterly networking at Pangbourne College. It's already almost fully booked. There's already 60 people booked. So if you were intending to come on Wednesday, you really need to book soon, because otherwise you will be disappointed. So that should be a really good evening. It's going to be a nice sunny evening. We're in the sixth form centre this time, so we've got all that lovely outside seating, so we can get a nice evening drink with our lovely canapes. We've got the private eye cartoonist Neil Kerber coming, and he's going to be doing some fabulous cartoons for us to memorialise the event. And our charity of the quarter is Ready Foods, which Andy Dickens, the CEO of, is coming and going to be sharing some stories and some information regarding Ready Foods, because it's all very well there's a lot of other people in the community we need to be helping to support, not just improving the businesses. So it should be a fabulous night. Get booked in for a good evening of drinks and canapes, and of course Mr. Townsend will be doing his usual walks and talks around the Falkland Island Memorial Hall, which is a national monument, which we are right next to on Pangbourne College. So that's Wednesday, the 12th of August. We then have our next super duper business blueprint seminar, which is on Friday, the 21st of August in the morning. That is at Goring and Streetley Golf Club. It starts in earnest from 9:30, but you can arrive from 8:45. And that one is all about managing your time. So if you are always a lastminute.com person, or your to-do list is absolutely huge, or you've got huge plans and aspirations for your business, but you're just never seeming to get there, this is the seminar for you. Do come along. Or if you've got your CEO, your ops manager is thinking, well, they could do with that, send them along too. So that we do have some spaces because it is August. So it's a day after GCSE results as well that day. Busy week that is going to be for me. So that's Friday the 21st. Please do book. Again, it's on that events website, or you can just book directly on Eventbrite. And then in September, we do have one. I can't think that it's actually I think it might be the 9th of September. I think we've got quite a short gap between them, but it's going to be our AI effectiveness, and it's going to be a really hands-on effective seminar, because Rob Pickering, who's running it, he's going to be taking you through the fabulous things that Claude can do. So it was packed out last year, our AI seminar. I think it will be packed out again. And AI has come across along leaps and bounds. It's unrecognizable what it can do this year compared to last year. So it's going to be a really practical morning of fabulous things that you can put into your business that day. So we do have a few other things coming up, but 3 is enough to go through today.
I think 3 is good. I think 3 is good.
Okay, 3. I'll speak about. We've got some round tables coming up, but I'll talk about them in our next in the September show.
Fantastic. Well, Nikki, it lends the time now for me to close down the show. So I want to say thank you to everybody who's watched and everybody who's commented. We always like it when you add, we get so much from the audience. They add their knowledge to us, so it's fantastic. I want to say thank you to Nikki for sharing all of her knowledge today. So thank you very much, Nikki.
Pleasure. Thank you so much, Kirsty. And thank you, because I know I haven't been as communicative this month as normal, because I was slightly in pain for some of it. But thank you so much. Thank you for bearing with me. But yeah, lots of good news. Let's keep up the positivity and make it a fabulous end of the year.
Indeed. We'll see you next time.
Cheerio.